Hello everyone, and thanks for watching our special updates on July 3rd, 2023. So today we're going back to Lanzarote, and we're focusing on Puerto del Carmen. And this video was requested by Stephen Nole. I hope that's how you say your name. Sorry if it isn't. And we're using Way.com, going through all its features, and we'll focus on Puerto del Carmen as well as a few other areas in Lanzarote at the same time. So starting off with the satellite this morning, about 9:30, you can see that the southern areas of Lanzarote, including Puerto del Carmen, which is about here, I'll just I'll drag the cursor over it. Are clear, while the northern parts of the islands, exposed to the winds off the Atlantic, are cloudier and breezier. Temperatures this morning, around 23 in Puerto del Carmen, slightly lower across the northern areas of the islands, and clouds looking like this, and rainfall mainly dry, but there could be the odd spot of rain in the cloud over the north of the island, but over in Puerto del Carmen, it should be dry. Moving on into this afternoon, we can see that temperatures reaching around 26 degrees in Puerto del Carmen. Similar temperatures across the spine of the island around this sort of area, but across the west and the east, a bit cooler. Wind speeds, if I just go over here and change that over to kilometers per hour, there we go. About 20 an hour, 20 an hour from the north, a bit stronger on exposed coasts. Cloud cover, mainly clear by afternoon, except for a few pieces of clouds over the north with a sort of grey shading, but in Puerto del Carmen, it should be quite clear. It gone through winds, rain, nothing, temperature and clouds. Moving off into tonight, we'll see temperatures dropping down to around 22 degrees quite widely over the islands, including Puerto del Carmen, a bit milder across the northern areas of the islands. It should be quite a clear night over the south of the islands, including Puerto del Carmen, but for the north, a bit of cloud moving in off the sea. And that will drag us quite nicely into Tuesday. And Tuesday will again be quite a clear day, especially over the south of the islands. The north, always a bit more exposed to a bit of clouds coming in off the sea from the wind, as you can see from these grey shadings here. Temperatures around 26 degrees over Puerto del Carmen. Similar values over low-lying areas in the centre of the islands, a bit cooler around the northern coasts. And there's no point in doing it, but rain, nothing at all. We go on to temperature, clouds, and wind speeds, about 23 an hour from the north, in Puerto del Carmen, closer to this bluer area here of lighter winds, but elsewhere, especially exposed towards the north coast, stronger winds will push through. So up to up to 25 or 26 an hour. So definitely best in the south, I'd say. As always, including Puerto del Carmen. Moving off into tomorrow night, should I say, Tuesday night at this stage. Temperatures will lower to around the low 20s again, quite widely across the island, as always, including Puerto del Carmen. However, you can see a few darker orange shades across the north and across the far south. The clouds cover a very, very clear night for most areas of the island, just a threat of a few cumulus clouds floating around, and that'll be it. And that takes us nicely into Wednesday, where it'll be a pretty much crystal clear blue skies today by the look of it into the afternoon. A few grey shades out west, but really that's nothing to worry about really. Temperatures rising to around 26 degrees in Puerto del Carmen. Similar values elsewhere in this sort of region in the orangey colours, as long as you want like on a mountain or anything. But in the north of the island, it'll again be cooler, exposed to the wind off the sea. Wind speeds, again, very similar to Tuesday's wind speeds. And rain, thunder, why not? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Moving off into Wednesday morning, or Thursday morning. Yeah, there we go. A bit of clouds just moving in from the northwest, I think. So a bit cloudier to start Thursday, with this grey shading over the island. Temperatures possibly a bit cooler on Thursday morning, with a more sort of like lighter yellow shade over quite a lot of the island, but still 22 over Puerto del Carmen as usual. And moving off into Thursday itself, we see that temperatures rise again towards the mid-20s over Puerto del Carmen and large portions of the island. Always coolest over the north of the island, exposed towards that northerly breeze. Nothing in terms of rain, and wind speeds a bit stronger on Thursday, but 28 an hour from the north. So quite a moderate breeze throughout your holiday there, I think. Breezy but warm and quite bright is I think it's a theme for this so far. And that's it for Thursday. Moving on to Friday morning, we start Friday quite cloudy actually, with some darker shades of grey and even towards white there, especially over the sea and over northern areas of the islands. In the south, you can see that it's a bit clearer, with this shade of sort of like brownish colour around here. Temperatures 22 degrees in Puerto del Carmen, a bit cooler further north. And moving off into Friday, you can see temperatures reach 25 in Puerto del Carmen. Again, coolest over mountains and over the north coast. Cloud cover, cloudier on Friday, and the cloud will reach Puerto del Carmen, and the whole island does look quite cloudy on Friday afternoon. Rain, thunder, nothing. Though, hang on. If we do put on the clouds again, you can sort of see a bit of blue shading there. That maybe just a threat of a shower or two over the sea, but really that won't be much, if anything. And moving off into Friday nights, quite a cloudy night there. I think I've got to see wind speeds on Friday actually. So if I go back, put on wind speeds. So again, I think a bit stronger with winds on Friday, about 28 an hour from the north. So quite strong winds. Moving off into Saturday morning, early hours of the morning, very cloudy. Temperatures, I think a bit slightly warmer across the island as a whole, with more orangey yellow shades, in contrary to yellowy, like pure yellow shades, if you see what I mean. But I mean, Puerto del Carmen seems to be having a constant low temperature of 22 degrees. So I mean, with all the in Ireland, that would be ridiculously uncomfortable for sleeping, like absolutely dreadful. But I say that in Lanzarote, if you do have the AC in the villas and that sort of stuff, it shouldn't be too bad. And the villas are white, so they're built to sort of reflect the heat that sort of that builds through the day. So hopefully the villas even like during the day should be quite cool, and they're very spacious as well. Cloud cover, as we said, it's very cloudy. Saturday itself sees the clouds burning back towards the north coast. You can see that grey shading towards the north, a bit clearer towards the south. Temperatures, again, mid-20s. It's very constant there, as we said. Winds, gusts, wind speeds easing down somewhat towards the mid-20s in kilometers per hour. And that's rain and thunder, nothing. And finally, into Sunday morning, clearest in the south, cloudiest in the north. Again, northerly winds. Temperature, I think Saturday nights were quite a cooler night for large parts of the island, but again, a low of 22 is likely in Puerto del Carmen. And moving off into Sunday itself, you can see that mid-20s again, so it's actually very constant. Puerto del Carmen seems to be around 25, 26, quite a lot for the maxes, and for the minimums around 22 or 23. And rain and thunder, nothing. Wind speeds near 30 an hour, from the north, and clouds pretty much nothing, apart from over the north. So for the week, I say that in summary, we're starting off quite nice, fine, breezy, bright, and warm, I should say, with temperatures during the day getting towards the mid-20s, at night the low 20s. A bit of cloud is likely in the mornings at times. Around midweek towards the end of the week, so Thursday and Friday, as we can see over here, a bit more cloud towards Friday and Saturday, should I say, and it may cap the highs a little bit if the cloud is thick enough. But into the weekend, the cloud should burn back towards the north coast. So in Puerto del Carmen, highs, as I said, in the mid-20s, lows towards the low 20s. And apart from that cloudier spell around Friday, Saturday, it should be quite nice and sunny on either side of that spell. So and you're also lucky that you're in the south, because the north will be plagued by a lot of cloud coming from the sea, and also the breeze off the sea will just take the edge off the temperatures, and the breeze will be strongest in the north. So that is a big advantage of. So there's a great advantage of being in the south. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Again, I'd like to take this opportunity to sort of remind you that we are open to requests. If you're going on holiday, for example, just let me know in the comments, for example, like Stephen did, and I'm more than happy to do a video. But for this one, we're done, and I'll see you later on for an update. And bye for now. I'll see you later.